Let's talk about Jaboticabas. Jaboticabas are also known as tree grapes or Brazilian grapes. They are not related to grapes whatsoever. However, the Jaboticaba trees do look like they are being attacked by grapes. Word is slowly getting out there about Jaboticabas. This is showing up in news articles, been popping up here and there online. But what you might not know is that there are several different types of fruit that refer to Jaboticabas. There are different varieties of Jaboticaba. There are different species of Jaboticaba, and there are actually 2 different genuses that contain Jaboticabas. And yes, I do know that it is genera, not genuses, when you have the plural of genus. However, in my defense, genuses is more fun to say. Well, today everybody, I'm going to reflect back on all of the Jaboticabas that I've had over the years and also try a couple of new ones. Most of the time when people say Jaboticaba, they are referring to Plinia cauliflora. This is the most popular of all of the different species out there. The first time that I had this was at the Fruit and Spice Park in Florida.
This is a very cool park because you can go hunting around, and anytime you see anything that's fallen on the ground, like this avocado, like I could eat this. If it wasn't full of bugs, I would eat it. So I'm gonna go foraging for fallen fruit. Hopefully I will not get worms, but yeah, this is a pretty sweet place. Okay, I've got a Jaboticaba. Eat it, you crack it open, there's this white pulp inside. It's very good, it's very sweet and strong tasting, kind of hard to describe. It's like kind of like a grape, but a little creamier. And it's like more sour, like almost like how like a passion fruit is sour. Yeah, very interesting. The guy that showed me this told me that this is edible but doesn't taste good, so of course I'm gonna eat it. It's got like a peppery taste when you eat it whole.
This species is sometimes called purple Jaboticaba, other times it's called red Jaboticaba, even though it's not really all that red, and there are also many different varieties of this species, and those varieties can have very different looking fruit and different tasting fruit. To show you a different example of a Plinia cauliflora, here's another one that I had that was sent to me by Flying Fox Fruits. This here is the red Jaboticaba. A lot of people say that these taste like grapes, and they do. There is a grape flavor, but it's far more complicated than that. Eating this tastes like if you took like a little cup of like, you know, fruit on the bottom, like blueberry yogurt, you mixed it up and took like a big spoonful of it. That's what it tastes like. Although this species is originally from South America, I have found it several different places over the years, and probably the most surprising place that I found it was in Madagascar. What is the name of this?
Therese.
Therese?
Therese.
Okay, thank you. You don't
What's your wine?
Yeah, it's no, it's called Jaboticaba. It's a South American fruit.
Oh, okay.
This one I've had. Is it different than the ones we've had, Steven?
Good one. Very
good.
seed.
Just red. Red Jaboticaba?
Yeah.
That's really weird to see them here.
Yeah.
But what's funny is we just like stopped the car and ran over there to get it, and everyone just like pointing and laughing at us. As I mentioned, there are a lot of different varieties or cultivars of this species, and they can taste very different, they can look very different, and honestly, some of the ones I had in the past I'm not sure exactly which ones were which, if they were a special variety. But the next one I'm going to show you is one of the most popular cultivars of this species. It's called Sabra. This one was kindly shared with me by Miguel when I visited Portugal some years ago. What we have today is a very special type of Jaboticaba, which I've talked about Jaboticabas in the past, but I haven't talked about this Jaboticaba.
Probably this is the most well-known Jaboticaba from Brazil.
The real prize is the inside, right there. Really nice. These have the nickname Brazilian grapes or tree grapes, and some of them taste like grapes, some of them don't. This one, it does taste like grapes. This one has like a really strong, like wine grape sort of flavor to it. It also has like almost like a creaminess to it, or like a yogurty kind of flavor, similar to the flavor of a cherimoya, or like an annona fruit. This one I'm not really getting so much blueberry, but more of a nice rich grape flavor. How would you compare this to the flavor of other Jaboticabas?
I prefer this one, not only in terms of flavor, but also in terms of fruit size.
Yeah, the fruit is this big, the seed is just this little small bit. I mean, it's got flesh around it, so it looks even bigger than it actually is, but that's really tiny. I've had a few different Jaboticabas over the years, and they all have their own little unique differences to them, and this one is certainly a really, really tasty one, and it's growing here in Portugal.
This entire time we've been filming, we've been surrounded by ducks, and they are eyeing up the fruit. I mean, these are pretty big. I don't know if you can eat one of these. You're welcome to try. Yeah, I don't think you can. Oh! Duck football, everybody. You got it? Yep.
Next up, the Grimal Jaboticaba. The species on this is Myrciaria, a spirito-santensis, I believe. And I heard that it has that name because the top of the fruit has a little crucifix kind of shape on it. And the name Grimal comes from Adolf Grimal. Adolf Grimal was a rare fruit collector back in the day, and he found this available in South America, took seeds back to his place in Florida and propagated the seeds, and now they are a very popular fruit for plant growers to grow in the United States. This one was also sent to me by Flying Fox Fruits. In fact, several of the Jaboticabas in this video were sent to me by Flying Fox Fruits about 10 years ago. You may notice the sudden drop in quality to like 360p. That is something sent to me by Flying Fox Fruits. And I apologize for the bad quality. It is very old footage, and also I actually filmed those segments with a Jaboticaba. So, you know, like, all things considered, it's pretty impressive. I'm gonna try the Grimals next. This one does not taste like blueberries. This one tastes more like, I'd say like a Concord grape, but probably like the best Concord grape that I've had. Remarkably, like how similar that they look, the flavor is quite different. There are a few different types of Jaboticabas that are referred to as white Jaboticabas, and the first one I have, I believe this was Plinia phitrantha. Okay, so here are the white Jaboticabas, and these, as you can see, are quite a bit smaller than the other two varieties, and they have like a little bit more of a teardrop shape to them. Okay, let's give it a try. Every time I eat one of these, it's like like a shock of flavor. This is more sour, and the flavor is not like blueberry or cream. It does have a little bit of a grape kind of flavor. Maybe it's a white grape. But what's interesting is that these actually remind me of the guinep or the kinepa fruit. It's a little bit like lychee flavor, but more sour. I found another thing called White Jaboticaba on a recent trip to Australia. Now, when I saw this, I was traveling with my fruit hunting buddy Steven, and when we saw it, I tried to lord it over him that I had this one and he hadn't.
I've never tried this before, so for me this is a new species.
They're good. Really yogurty.
Really yogurty?
Yeah, I've had this one.
Oh, this is something you've had, Jared. And
There's a few out there that I've had that you haven't.
Oh, I know. You've had a lot of things. I'm not.
Yeah.
But this is something completely new for me, man.
But as it turns out, neither of us have had this one because it is actually a different species that is called White Jaboticaba. At least I'm pretty sure it's a different species. Looks quite different than the one I had before. Also, these ones are usually not really white on the outside, they are green. The species of this one, I believe, is Plinia aureana.
Yeah. It's like Jaboticaba and yogurt.
Yep.
That's good.
Do these turn
Very
white
sweet.
when they're completely ripe?
No, they're this color. They stay green. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's something. I've had one that was completely white.
There's 3 different things called White Jaboticaba.
All right, so maybe this is a new one for me too.
This is oh.
Yep. Careful, take it a knife.
Plenty of juice?
That's great. Oh, that's so great.
Can you save me one of those?
I'm sorry. Don't mean to.
Once you start, it's hard to stop though, yeah? I thought I had this before because I had one called White Jaboticaba. It also has that name, but it looks different. It looks different. And it gets like a pale green when it's ready. Got like some jelly in the middle. This is like more of that yogurty taste than anything else. Nice and juicy. It's got the texture of like a lychee rambutan, but maybe a little bit juicier than that. Very refreshing. Very nice. Just see it here for all of those interested in seeds. Pretty small. It's like a decent seed to flesh ratio there. Not too bad. And sometimes the skin on it is avoided. Sometimes it's eaten. You take a little nibble. Skin's all right. It's a little peppery. Always happy to try another type of Jaboticaba, so this is really cool. And I am here at Fruit Forest Farms, by the way. So if you're in Queensland, Australia, come out this way. I'll put information in the description below. You can come and try this yourselves. On a tour.
On a tour. Don't break in. A cassowary will eat you. Cassowaries are one of the world's largest birds, and they're really close to dinosaurs. Look at this. Doesn't even look real. Uh-oh. She's looking at me.
Coming towards us.
What an incredible bird. Yeah, she is not afraid. She's coming to check us out.
That's really close. That's a little too close, I'd say.
Alright.
That's like 20 feet away. Most dangerous bird on the planet.
Yep. This is a bird with a body count. So you don't want to... Yeah, and they kill you by slashing open your stomach. So...
Look behind, watch your joke.
Alright, we're moving. Yeah, let's... Back in the car! Getting a little too close to that cassowary.
Next up, the blue Jaboticaba, also known as the blue grape, and the false Jaboticaba. Those are both very confusing names, and the species on this is Myrciaria vexator. I believe. And unlike the other, there's a lot of things about this Jaboticaba that are different than other Jaboticabas. So I can see why it gets false Jaboticaba. It's very different. And this one is not actually from South America. It's originally from Central America. That's kind of interesting. And yeah, it's a weird one. This is a blue Jaboticaba. And just looking on the outside, it already looks different. It doesn't have as much of a gloss to it. If you were to think of it as like paint, it's like matted, you know, and this is a red Jaboticaba. You can already see like this one's got like a high gloss to it. So it looks different on the outside. And he actually said that these, you deal with these a little bit differently because the skin on the outside is more tannic. I'm going to actually cut this open with a knife. I'm not going to cut it open with my teeth like I would with the other ones because I don't want to get a mouthful of bitterness. So I'm just going to score it and open it up like that. I'm going to open up kind of like a mangosteen and just like cut off the top. And it comes out pretty clean, actually. That's cool. It's a little milder than the other ones, but the blue one, if I had to relate it to anything, it's a little bit more like the white one, where it has like a little bit of a grape taste, a little bit of a quinapa taste. It actually reminds me of the quinapa quite a bit because of how the seed is quite around the same size, and it's got like the pulp sticking to it, so it's got a similar mouth feel to the quinapa as well. Next up, a hybrid Jaboticaba that is a mix between the Sabra variety of Plinia cauliflora and the White Jaboticaba, and I believe that is Plinia aureana. And this one is sometimes referred to as the red Jaboticaba, I believe. This one, with that hybridization in there, does actually get a little bit of a red color to it. Still mostly purple, but a little bit more of a red color. And this one was shared with me by Vincent over at the Garden of 1000 Fruits in New Caledonia.
I have different variety. Oh, here we go. You're gonna be able to taste.
Oh, what's that? We got one
It's
Jaboticaba.
a red hybrid Jaboticaba.
Have you tried the red hybrid Jaboticabas?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So the red hybrid Jaboticaba is a cross between the Sabora and the white, or the branca. In Portuguese, white is branca varieties.
Oh.
There's one fruit. We're gonna split this Jaboticaba.
Yeah.
There's just one.
Just one? Really nice. I'd say it's more in the direction of a grape, but it does still have a little bit of that creaminess, that like a slight yogurty sort of flavor. Not much. And maybe a little bit of like a tart plum kind of flavor. Good.
A lot of times Jaboticabas taste to me like Concord grapes, but this one's more kind of plain grapey. Has a pretty high acidity for a Jaboticaba. Yeah, interesting, and a new Jaboticaba cross.
Any other information about that Jaboticaba?
No, it's just the first fruits, and don't really know if it was really ripe or not.
It's produced fruit before though.
No.
Really? You gave us your first fruit?
I was so surprised because a couple of days ago I've seen it. I said, oh, there's one fruit.
Well, thank you for sharing with us your first fruit.
Only fruit.
But hopefully next year or by the end of this year, I'm fruiting again, and we should have more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Very generous, and it's good. It's
All right.
very nice.
Good.
And that's it for the Jaboticaba. at least for now. There are many, many different species and varieties of Jaboticabas out there, and there's much more for me to cover in the future. But I feel very lucky to have been given so many opportunities over the years to try this very tricky to find fruit. You know, it's something that you don't really find it at market so much. You know, like maybe if you go to Brazil you do, or Madagascar apparently you can find it at markets. But other than that, this is something that is often grown, especially these rarer varieties of it. There's something you gotta grow. You know, just like watching this footage back, I feel like I should take a moment here just to thank everybody who has shared fruit with me over the years. Not just Jaboticabas, but like everything. Like this channel would not be possible without the generosity of other fruit fanatics out there. It's been my mission to document every fruit out there, and that is a very, very hard thing to do by just visiting markets, by just doing it on my own. It is only through the generosity of other people who have this fascination that I've been able to do the majority of what I've done so far. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you very much. And to everybody else out there, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, Bill T. and Joseph McCorkle. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. To everyone watching who is interested in learning more about how you can support the channel and also get some really cool rewards in return, like early access to videos, exclusive videos, there's over 100 of those. There's even a level where I will send you things in the mail. You gotta check it out, so I will put some information in the description below.